I'm tired.
How much was the win read time?
This is like the 7th video today. I want to go home to my wife. Do the video.
Okay. Yeah. So if you.
15-minute warning.
All right. Well. Okay. Let's do this fast then. So obviously by the starter we all know this is a Megacolony deck, but this is a Megacolony deck with Spice because our main card that we're using here is Lascaria. Now, you may be wondering why we're losing Lascaria, and we will get to that in like 2 seconds. First things first, though, because this is Megacolony, and Ghidorah is a card that the deck plays, I'm playing one Antlion right here, because calling Antlion off of Ghidorah, having this have the Sentinel restrict under Ghidorah's guard restrict, very, very funny card. That's all I gotta say about that. As to the reason why we're playing Lascaria, it's because of this card right here. Otherwise known as the card that makes it so that Nova Grapplers and anything that Superior calls has a bad time. Which, honestly, like, in Megacolony, that was like one of the biggest things, just rear guards restanding on their own. So this card just helps mitigate that, and if we're playing this, we might as well try to make it recuperate the cause with Lascaria. So yeah, that's the reason why Lascaria is my main vanguard. Also, Persona Rider is just a strong thing no matter what. And just in case, we are playing one copy of Caliburn here just for the free resources that it provides, because sometimes you need the extra counter charge. Because alongside all that, we are also playing this new card. I like to call this Argy. And Argy here is basically the card that gives us multi-attack in this deck now that Ghidorah is at 1. So basically the only part about this is that you can counterblast 1 to revive something or add the blitz back to your grave, from your grave. And also you can counterblast to restand it. So yeah, when I said that we run out of resources, this is one of the main reasons why, because this takes up 2 counterblasts sometimes. Usually it's only 1 because I'm using it for the restand, but still, it's just nice to have. Other things that are nice to have. Morpho, because finding that blitz order sometimes is very important. And if you can't find it, sometimes Lascaria doesn't really put in the work that she wants to put in. So, play it at 3, we use it to start out the blitz. Once we find it, we don't really need this anymore, we just use it for a shield. Speaking of things that we use for shield, Cocktail. She is probably one of the best things to call the Guardian Circle, because giving that effect to retire a standing rear guard, or just to give minus 5k to the van, or plus 5k to all your front row units, is just very nice. It's just good interruption, good extra power. It does a lot. What more can I say about that card? We played this just to add some consistency, and by consistency I mean to search out Morpho for when we need to search out for our blitzes. And, you know, since Ghidorah is now at 1, sometimes you may want to stun some things, and this just only needing a Soul Blast to do so, well, a Soul Blast and a boost is just very nice to have as well. It helps out with some things early game as well, which, Then on to the important things. We're running 4 copies of Lodorcus. This is just the grade 3 searcher. As you can clearly tell, we don't really have anything else that searches out Lascaria, so yeah, mandatory 4-of right here. We're also running our countercharger of choice being Moth, which with this and another card that's in the G zone that everyone should know by now, is able to become a grade 3/1 soul, so we get to fuel up our Antlion and make it so that he's live immediately if for whatever reason we draw him first turn. I'm also running these. I'm running 3 of the new Brilliant Blister and 1 of the OG Brilliant Blister. I know people have been switching this out for that grade 0 Elemental, which I can't remember right now, but I just really like the aesthetic of just running all these. Yeah, that card, Beacon. But yeah, I just like running these just for the aesthetics of just having Brilliant Blisters inside the deck at the 4-of. But yeah, this can be replaced with the other one if you really just need the extra PG. Speaking of PGs, Elementara. What more do we need to say about that? Now on to the really fun part. Triggers. We're running 4 of the Stride Crits, because it's the Stride Crit who wouldn't run this. We're also running, this is my tech here, 4 copies of Tree Hopper. Because if we get to the point where we're on our Ghidorah turn, we can just shuffle these back into deck, call out the Antlion, and have our deck just mostly be crits, so that we can just stack them onto the Antlion and just try to kill that turn. 3 draw PGs, because draw PGs are draw PGs. We're running 3 Heal Guardians because Heal Guardians are good with just this one for the extra resources. Because like I said, resources in this deck is very important. And then the final thing that's kind of important, which comes up pretty often if you're able to deck thin enough, is the red OT. If you hit this on your Ghidorah turn with Antlion out, Cyrano Restrict, and multiple grade 3s in Soul, this just wins the game. It just wins the game. I don't really know how else to say it. It just wins. And yep, that is the deck. Is it annoying? Yeah. But it gets more annoying when we get to the G zone. So, 1 copy of Messiah because Messiah is Messiah. 1 copy of Ghidorah because Ghidorah is Ghidorah. I don't really think these need to be explained. I think everyone knows what these do. We're running 2 copies of Malignantis. This also makes it so that your Ghidorah turn is a lot more threatening than it otherwise would be. You can stride into this first, flip up the second copy, have these 2 be in the G zone ready for the next turn, and then go into your Ghidorah. So now you have the opportunity to get -20 on the Vanguard, plus 10k for your Persona. If you have the OT still in deck and the Antlion in deck, this right here is just like the kill combo, essentially. For other options, just to go into first stride if you really need to or want to, I'm also just running 4 copies of Overwhelm, just because you can draw a bunch of cards with this. You can put on some on-hit pressure with all the crits that you can do with this. It can do some pretty dangerous things. So it sometimes comes up, sometimes it's a split fodder. Nope. I'm running 1 Ob Tyrannus. Happens sometimes to come up. Sometimes it doesn't, but the card just helps because now that Ghidorah is at 1. Not really sure what else to say about this. Running 1 Megaloma because sometimes we die, and we don't like dying in this deck, so sometimes you want to reset our deck. We're running 1 Zoa just in case we can't do our Ghidorah turn with Antlion because it's stuck in our hand. We just do Zora for the same thing that we can do with Ghidorah, only this time it's just from the hand instead of from the deck. G Guardians, we are running 2 Q-Weebles because this card is probably the best G Guard, I want to say. It can really do some funny things if your opponent decides not to rest anything, and if they do decide to rest anything, it's even better. If they don't decide to rest anything and you have a cocktail in hand, well, congratulations. They try to mitigate this and they still lose a rear guard anyway. 1 copy of this, it comes up sometimes, but not all the time. It's just good to have for like the niche situations. Same with this one. Sometimes you just want to get rid of your opponent's rear guard boosters, and this helps with that. And once again, as I keep on saying, resources are resources, and that's why I have 1 copy of this. So, yeah, that's the deck.
It's a good pull. The thing is, nobody's gonna want
I believe that is the end of this video. So, thank you for doing the profile.
Yeah, anytime.
Have a good night, everybody.